Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. For today's session, you'll need something like a towel or a t-shirt to help you out with some assisted stretching later on. Today we'll start off in a child's pose position. Bring your big toes together, separate your knees, send your hips back to your heels, and stretch your fingertips out long in front of you. Start to bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. With every inhale, feel the expansion of your torso and your rib cage. And with every exhale, feel your hips sink a little heavier onto your heels. Now flip your toes under, lift your hips up slightly, and stretch your left palm forward. And you can bend your right elbow under your right shoulder. Take a little bit of a lift with the right shoulder and a little bit of a dip with the left shoulder. Actively think of pushing down into the left hand to feel that nice stretch along the left side body. Take one more breath here and then we'll switch. So you can bend your left elbow and extend your right arm. And then your right ear can come closer down towards the ground. And really think of the reach through your fingertips towards the front of your mat. So you can find a really nice space and stretch all along your right rib cage. Breathe into that space that you're creating. Take a nice big breath in. Take a full big breath out. Let your rib cage expand with every breath. And come back to center. We're going to take that again one more time each side. And then maybe this time feel like your butt bones could pull back away from your fingertips. You can feel even longer all along the left side of your body. And then bring yourself up and switch. Slide your right fingertips forward. And try to pull your butt bones away from your right fingertips. Take nice big breaths in. Full big breaths out. Now bring yourself back to a tabletop position. From here, extend your right leg back behind you and open up into a modified side plank and start to take big circles with your top right arm. It may feel good to allow your left ear to drop down to your left shoulder. Take 3 or 4 circles with your top right arm, just finding a little bit of mobilization there. And then start to take these circles in the opposite direction. So you've really plugged down into your bottom left hand, feeling some nice stability there while you feel this movement into your top right shoulder. Take a couple more rotations and then bend your right elbow, bring your right fingertips to your right shoulder, and peel your chest open towards the ceiling. Replace your right hand down, move back to tabletop, and we'll set this up in the opposite direction. So your left arm is now up to the ceiling. You can start with these big sweeping circles. Plug down into your bottom right palm. Feel the openness into the chest and the length through both sides of your waist. Take 3 or 4 big circles and then go ahead and switch. Move in the opposite direction. Keep your right hand plugged down to your mat. Really activate and energize through your left fingertips in all directions. After your final circle, attach your left hand to your left shoulder. Peel your elbow back and try to open your heart space to the ceiling. Take a nice big breath in. Replace your left hand down, move back to tabletop, and then slowly come all the way down to your belly. Bring your fingertips so they're a little wider than your mat. Your elbows will point straight up. Press down into the pads of your fingers to lift your chest. And then on your exhale, dip your right shoulder down. Bring yourself back to center, and then switch this up and dip your left shoulder down. And we take a few more sets of these, just moving at your own pace, your own tempo. Allow that openness into the front of your chest and into your shoulder. And you can allow the neck to get a little bit involved too. Push down into your hips. Feel that nice openness into the front of your chest. And we'll take one more time each side. Maybe allow yourself to move slowly here. Bring yourself through to center, lift your heart, and then lower all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up so you come to sit on your knees. Bring your hands to your shoulders so your elbows are bent, and start to draw some circles with your elbows. We take about 3 or 4 in one direction. Just allow this to feel really intentional. And then take this the opposite way. So the elbows will pull back behind you and draw up to the ceiling. And you can have your toes flipped under if you want to get a little bit deeper stretch into the feet. Release, move yourself to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, energize your heels down to the ground. And take a moment in this downward facing dog. Feel how steady and solid your shoulders can feel. Press your fingers into the ground. Take a nice big breath in. Full big breath out. Think of your chest moving towards your toes. Take a nice big breath in. And full big breath out. And start to walk your feet up towards your fingers so you're moving into a ragdoll forward fold. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine and extend your arms to find a bit of a deeper shoulder opener. Stay here nice and heavy for a few more big breaths. Feel free to move your torso around gently. You may feel the stretch a little differently into your shoulder. Find nice big breaths in, full big breaths out. And then gently release your arms, soften your knees, and roll yourself to stand. You could take a little shimmy shake through your head, your neck as you come up. From here, bring your right arm across your body at a downward diagonal, and then use your left hand. Find a grip that works for you. It could be overhand or underhand grip to really pull the right arm further across. Hold this for a few seconds, and then release. Open the right arm up. And then take it again. So the right arm comes across to a downward diagonal. Add a little pull with the left fingertips and then release the arm. We take this a few more times. Just finding this, pull a nice stretch into the outer shoulder, outer arm. Release, really let that open up through the chest when you release. Hold for a few seconds, find the stretch. Open it up, release. And then we switch. Now the left arm will come across your body at a downward diagonal and find the best grip with your right arm. Hold the stretch for a few moments and then release up and open. Take it again, bring the left arm across and we hold for a few seconds and then release. Really let that release open through the front of your left chest and shoulder. Let it feel good there. Bring it across, tug the shoulder down and release, open. And take one or two more here, just move in at your own pace, but try to hold on to it for a few seconds. And then let this go. Next stretch, bring your hands, so the back of your hands are facing towards your spine, and then try to pull your elbows forward and tuck your chin to your chest. So this may feel like a pretty intense stretch to the front and top of your shoulders. So just take it to where you can take it. Try to bring your fingers close to each other behind your back. Really push your elbows forward as much as you can, and think of almost like a little bit of contraction through your upper spine. One more big breath. Release, let it go. Let your arms come down to your side. And for your next exercise, grab hold of your towel or whatever you're using. Place your towel in your right hand, extend your right arm overhead, bend your right elbow, and then sneak your left arm down and around. So you're using your towel or your t-shirt to try to bring your hands closer to each other. Now, as this is happening, try to pull your right elbow further backwards and really point it up to the ceiling as much as you can. Use your left arm as much as you can to pull your right arm down so you can find more of a stretch, more of an opening into the right tricep. And now switch, move the towel to your left hand and try to grab hold of the towel from underneath with your right hand. Add a little bit of pull with your right hand down and try to pull your left elbow backwards, like away from your nose, and think of it really pointing straight up to the ceiling so you can get a little more openness into the front of your left armpit. Hold down with your right arm, take one more breath, and then release. We're gonna take that again on each side. So switch back to your right hand, bend your right elbow, catch hold with both hands. Now you could stay here or option to tip your torso over to the left. And this is going to increase the stretch all along the right side of your body and possibly a little deeper stretch into your right tricep as well. Give it a few moments of breath here. Just find that nice stretch elongation. and then release and switch. Left hand takes the towel up and overhead. Right hand takes the towel. Keep your left elbow pointing up to the ceiling and then start to tip yourself over to the right. Pull down with your right hand as that left elbow is pointing up. Take a nice big breath in. Full big breath out. And then slowly release, let it go. We'll take that same thing one more time each side. So grab the towel in your right hand, point your right elbow up to the ceiling and take a little side bend. Option here to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. That's gonna get a little bit deeper all along the right side. Nice stretch into the right side neck. Take a big breath in and then release and switch the towel or the t-shirt into the left hand. Find your position, stand up nice and tall, and then tip yourself over to the right. An option to drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder so you feel a lot more stretch all along the left side neck. Breathe in and exhale. And then slowly, slowly release and let it go. Next, you'll be coming down to the ground and lie on your left side. Bring your left outer tricep down to the ground and then make a blade with your left hand. And then gently with your right hand, press your left hand down. It's gonna feel probably pretty intense. And you don't have to use your right hand. You can just try to use the weight of your own left hand, or you can place your right hand on top. Hold it for a few seconds, just as we did before, and then let it go, let it release back. Find that external rotation and then take it again. A little bit of internal rotation here. Maybe you apply a little bit of pressure with your right hand, and then release and let that go. And we're gonna take this just a few more times. Take this really, really gentle. Try not to apply too much pressure here. And then switch sides. So now you're coming over to your right side. Your right tricep will be down to the ground. You can make a blade with your right arm. And then you could use only your right arm if you just want to find that internal rotation on your own, or maybe you want to use your left hand to assist just slightly. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds and then release and try to find the opposite external rotation if you can. So you try to get the back of your hand to the mat. And take this about 3 or 4 times. And then slowly come out of it. Bring yourself all the way up to a cross-legged seated position. Interlace your fingers and push your palms forward and contract your chin to your chest. And then move your hands over to the right diagonal. Think of your left butt bone plugged down into the ground. And then bring your arms across to the left diagonal. Bring yourself back to center. Reach your arms all the way up overhead. Separate your arms, open up. Let your hands come back around behind you and down. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take a few moments here just to come back into the movement of your breath and your body. Notice any shifts you may feel physically or mentally and the sensation of your shoulders. Allow yourself a few moments of stillness and silence with breath. Thank you for joining us, and that's your flow.